So Stephen A. Smith recently visited The View again. And you know these hyenas out there are. They attack, they attack, they attack. And you know, these ladies on The View, man, they are a major part of the brainwashing system that the Democrats have going on. And they got him. That boy got. Now, I don't mean he's a boy literally. You know, it's just a figure of speech. But my dude, Stephen A. Smith, he got. And I'm going to tell you how he got. Let's watch this clip.
So Trump's only been in office for 6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever. And he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right.
You notice he's not looking at her? You know why? He's tired of their shenanigans. And when you're tired of somebody's shenanigans, the way, you know, these ladies, the way they operate, guess what? You don't even want to look them in the face.
It's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to.
And he's talking with an energy behind it.
Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004.
Yep.
But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad.
Some people didn't.
Stephen A. know his numbers. And you know what? Did you know Stephen A. is actually a lawyer by profession? He's a lawyer. He knows how to speak. He knows his research. He knows his number. Here's the reason why. He's on ESPN, so he knows how to analyze things as from an analyst standpoint. So he's just killing her right now with numbers and killing her with facts as well.
Should continue to do that. Don't continue to do that. Find a new strategy.
But do you think those groups, the black voters, the Latino voters, and the others that you mentioned, are they going to regret it soon?
Possibly. I think so. I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end, I didn't like it. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction. I don't only talk to Cuomo. I did interview Eric Adams. I did interview Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I interviewed these people. I've talked to them, and I'm going to talk to some more of them, too. And I'm going to say the same message. What are you doing to win? I love Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I love Dr. Kerr of Pennsylvania, okay? I just interviewed Cuomo. I like him a lot. I want somebody to step up and recognize that man in the Oval Office, whether you like it or not, is potent. He's coming and he wins. You got to find a way to beat him. This way is not the way that the Democrats have been doing it.
Let's talk about how people are feeling about his performance, because CNN...
All right, Sonny Hostin, we know you are the biggest hater when it comes to Donald Trump. I mean, there's not one speck in that blood where she would give this man some sort of credit. It's always some sort of hate when it comes to Donald Trump with Sonny Hostin. Let's see what she's about to say.
Found that 52% of people disapprove of Trump's performance in office so far. So even though he may have won the general election by less than 50%, 52% disapprove of what he's doing. We're also seeing Republican voters at town halls opposing his executive overreach, giving Elon Musk the shadow presidency. Yet you said, quote...
Y'all heard that? Even giving Elon Musk the shadow presidency. Let's continue.
Trump is closer to normal than what we're seeing on the left.
Yeah, I was talking about why he won the election.
so?
When I made that statement, I was talking about that was before the election.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
So when during the election, I said, in the immediate aftermath of the election, I pointed out he was voted for because they considered him closer to normal than what the Democrats were spewing. That was what I said at that particular moment in time. Now,
all right, hold on. Let me point something out to y'all because I don't think a lot of people. I'm going to talk about Sunny Hostin. So she was always talking about. She was one of the main people out here calling Donald Trump a felon. Call him, this felon in the White House, that felon here, felon there. In almost every episode that had to do with politics, Donald Trump has been called a felon. Let me rewind her. I'm going to put her right on the screen so y'all can see exactly who I'm talking about. There she is. Miss Hader right there, right? She was the one who was always calling Donald Trump a felon. This felon this, he's a felon and this. And guess what happened? Karma came to visit her door. Her husband, who's a doctor, he was recently charged on a RICO case. Insurance fraud. Became a felon himself. And I think the case is ongoing right now. But this man is about to do time in prison. Her own husband. Now, do I wish that on anybody? No. But you know what? When you spew that type of energy out into the world against somebody else, that hateful energy, don't be surprised when it comes knocking at your door. And that's what happened to her.
In the immediate aftermath of the election, I pointed out he was voted for because they considered him closer to normal than what the Democrats were spewing. That was what I said at that particular moment in time. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is an entirely different matter altogether.
Right.
This man is not an elected official. He hasn't been confirmed by the Senate or anything, but he's got an inordinate amount of power.
Given to him by Trump.
I can understand how that could scare the living daylights out of folks and the approval ratings. Obviously, we pay attention to that. But here's the bigger question. Who on the Democratic side are the American people pointing to and saying that's the person?
Well,
they don't have anybody yet.
We're
6 weeks in with you.
Okay, so check out what Whoopi is about to do. Whoopi Goldberg. Check out what Whoopi Goldberg is about to do. Whoopi, look what she's about to do and listen to what she's going to say. All right, she's about to shut him down. Listen.
National voice.
Right. We're 6 weeks in with you.
Leader Jeffries.
Everybody said let him do what he's doing so we can see what's going on. So, and now people are saying, well, what are you going to do as a Democrat? Well, wait a minute now. Y'all didn't want to hear what we had to say.
Look at Stephen A's face.
That wasn't what people voted for.
He know what's coming.
So now we have a clear definition, and the American people will decide how they like what he's doing, because now it's affecting in a way that people were not anticipating. People who didn't think they would be affected, like the folks who work in the federal government, they never saw this coming.
And
They
people can't
never
make
saw this
omelets
coming. Sorry
anymore.
about that.
Okay.
People can make omelets. Everybody doesn't eat eggs. Not a fan, but I like chickens. But I'm not a fan of eggs for the mouth. Anyway, our thanks to Stephen A. Smith. Be sure to check out his interview with the.
She pretty much shut him down based on what he was saying. Now, the thing is, she did make a valid point concerning the people in the federal government, because there were some people who voted for Donald Trump. Look, if you got to cut, like I said in one video, you got to cut the fat off the meat, and there was too much spending going on in the federal government, and that man is cutting out a lot of excessive spending in the federal government. And if you got a problem with that, look, you should have been prepared. That's the reason why you don't get too comfortable when it comes to a job. You got to always, stay prepared, stay up. Look, a lot of people these days are too comfortable. This is not the era and the time, the moment to be comfortable in a job, because at any given point you may be fired. That's just the way everything is set up right now. The economy is shot. It's right in front of your eyes. So you got to start making preparations for the unknown, pretty much. So Stephen A. Smith, I feel like everything he said went through one ear, or went in one ear and went straight out the next ear when it comes to these hyenas on The View. Shout out to you for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Help this video get out into the recommendations so more people like you can see this video, y'all. And guess what? Come over and, join this community as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. Sean with the news, signing out. Peace!